Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we're talking about something amazing that Fantasy Flight did that Atomic Mass Games should probably adopt and keep it going. We're talking about Star Wars Legion today in this video, and we are actually going to be talking about the premium bases. That's right, this is something that was introduced by Fantasy Flight Games back in 2018, and it was a moderately successful venture of making alternative bases for Star Wars Legion. It became very, very popular with certain folks, and then just kind of up and vanished one day. To this day, these are very rare and hard to get. And while there are some people making their own versions of these in the aftermarket, the original Legion premium bases are pretty hard to find. I'm going to talk about why I think Atomic Mass Games should bring these back, some of the benefits to doing so, and we're going to have a giveaway winner at the end of this video. That's right, we are still doing the 12 Days of Life Day. 12 times throughout the month of December, we're doing amazing giveaways. If you want to have a chance to enter to win any of these, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos. It's as simple as that. Also, little shout out, make sure you're checking out some of the links in the description below. We have a great Discord. You can keep the discussion going there. There's some other links as well for Patreon, social media, and discount codes for Battle Foam if you want to head over to Battle Foam, and you can use code Crabbok VIP to save 15% off of your order. Great savings just in time for the holidays. Get your orders in. Or get your Christmas presents in for your fellow gamers. Or tell other people to use this code to get you some Battle Foam stuff, too. It's just a great way to do it. Even if it doesn't ship in time, again, if you've waited this long, you know, well, that's on you. But you can always do a little printout of what is coming. So those are options. Those are options. So what are these? What are we talking about here? The premium base kits were just spare bases. That you know, they were Star Wars Legion bases. They were both trooper bases, and then there were the larger vehicle bases in two separate boxes. And you got quite a bit of them, at least in the trooper base option, which of course is where you needed most of your bases. Now they were sort of Death Star or interior designed. I mean, really, they were Death Star type of stuff. They're very popular. Some people try to do their whole armies with these, and at the time they had every base size covered. But it's a problem right now because we can't get these anymore. And I really think Atomic Mass Games should bring them back. Especially when, you know, you look at images like this, right? Like there are a lot of interior battles. There's a lot of things that, you know, mixed and matched terrain don't always match. Like, for example, even in their own promotional stuff, you've seen stormtroopers and droids and you know, Rogue One characters inside the Death Star, or an Imperial base, right? But they're in rocks and grass and stuff like that. So having some cool options, having premium base options is a good idea. Legion's a popular game, but not everybody who plays it is a very, very skilled hobbyist. A lot of us are very amateur. A lot of us are very new. There are a lot of people that play unpainted or just primed and stuff like that. Not everybody paints their minis and has the skills to do all of the basing for the bases and the rocks and all of the grass and everything like that. So this offered a really cool option for people at the time, and it might be a great option to allow those players to get back into it. Also, as any game that's been out for a very long time and has seen multiple editions and also seen different companies take over, there's probably been some people who have kind of either stopped playing or slowed down tremendously. One of the things that can kind of lead to that is if your entire army was done in the premium bases, and then once they weren't available anymore, as new things come out, you know, you can't make them match your existing army. So that can be kind of a feels bad if you were running Empire and you had all your stormtroopers and everybody on these premium bases. Everybody had a Death Star theme, and then that doesn't, you know, then you just can't do it anymore. So then when more stuff comes out, you're like, oh well, now all the new guys have to be on not Death Star theme, right? So it would be a nice way to kind of maybe encourage people to get some more things or to buy more stuff. But also, there's even under Fantasy Flight, they started to come out with vehicles that had new base sizes that now it was impossible to get because they didn't even make them in that size. The oblong bases or the extra large bases were never made in the deluxe base size. And so again, creating more of these would make a really cool option for people who have all of these things. Again, the vehicle base sizes could be expanded to include all of the new base sizes they're going to do, including any future vehicle base sizes. They could even do multiple packs of the small trooper, the trooper bases, the medium, basically medium vehicles, and then have a separate box of just the larger vehicles if they wanted to do it that way, because you're probably not going to need as many of this style as you might need of like maybe the ATRT size base, because there's so many more things that use base sizes that are closer to that. And that would be really cool if they could do that and expand it to the new base sizes. And it doesn't even have to stop there. They could easily start going in different directions and have different types of bases. They don't have to have them all be Death Star. They could have some that are volcanic, or they could have some that are have sculpted rocks and things like that on them as well, if they wanted to do that. But I think those alternative types probably aren't as important. And the reason I say that is that when you're a hobbyist and you're trying to create some kind of terrain, most of the time hobbyists are making things that appear in nature. They're adding grass, they're adding tufts, they're adding cracked earth, they're adding maybe a little rolling hill, some sprinkled grass, or the larger grass, or the big boulders, or water, or tree roots and things like that. There's not as many standard hobby disciplines that involve making this sort of thing, because again, these are very straight lines. This is very machine made type of stuff. And I think as somebody, if I were looking to do an interior thing, I would definitely rather purchase some very clean and flat and machined bases for a Death Star look. And this could be just for like Imperials too. It would be really cool to just have all my Imperials serving on board the Death Star. That'd be a very cool thing. Or on a Star Destroyer. It doesn't have to be like the Death Star, right? But yeah, it'd be a very, very cool thing. I'd love to see them do it. But again, I'm usually in favor of things like this. I know when Fantasy Flight did this with X-Wing and they had the multicolored bases, it was a very cool thing. I always wished they'd have done that with Armada and done more with that as well. And why might they not? Maybe it's a licensing issue. Maybe because it was a supplement to the game as opposed to an actual gameplay thing. I don't know. Or maybe they weren't making enough money. I'm not sure exactly why they stopped. I feel like maybe it might have had something to do with the fear of 3D printing or aftermarket stuff, that people were making those already, but I'm not sure, because there's people that make aftermarket everything. And I remember taking some extra bases and putting some 3D printed models on them and saying, oh, I've got like my Spaceballs now, or things like that. And so maybe they didn't want to provide bases that people wouldn't then have to, that people could put whatever they wanted on, or put Legos on, or something like that. I don't know. I don't think the risk of that is significant enough to not make cool stuff, because frankly, another advantage to making these is, sometimes people will get stuff like this and say, well, I want a whole nother unit. I want a whole nother army of like stormtroopers now. They have all these battle forces. I want the stormtrooper battle force, and I want all of those on the new bases. And some people might buy another starter or two, and again, all these other things. So this could also encourage extra sales for the people who want to have, distinct basings and color schemes for multiple variants of the Empire, for example. And I think there's a lot of different ways to approach it, but I think it would be really cool. But let me know your thoughts. Again, that doesn't have to, my opinion isn't the only one, but I know there's a lot of people who have started these armies that were using these bases that weren't able to complete everything, and are certainly kind of worried every time something else new comes out that they may want, because it's going to also clash with the rest of their army. So I think when some stuff like this starts, it's a really good idea to keep it going. So hopefully Atomic Mass will bring these back. It'd be a very cool thing. Let me know if you agree, if you think they should bring them back. We also have a giveaway winner to announce today. Today's giveaway winner for the 12 Days of Life Day is going to win the alternate art Din Djarin from a few seasons back. This was one of those promos that they were giving out with one of the kits. This is a cool one. This is the original style of Din Djarin, and he is it's again double-sided. Kind of full art on the back, almost full art on the front, borderless. Looking very cool. Today's winner is going to be Airborne D4478. Congratulations, Airborne Delta 4478. Go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. Make sure you tell me what you've won, because there are a lot of giveaways throughout December. I don't want to send you the wrong thing. If you did not win, don't worry. There are more opportunities to win. Anything that doesn't get claimed within 30 days rolls over into Patreon giveaways. Plus, there's still more Life Day giveaways as well. So you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos. Make sure you watch till the end. That is when I announce winners. All right, that is going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. And always wash your socks.